had to come up with $200,000 to do a deal in the next 90 days, and you knew that deal was going to save you at least 3 times or make you at least 3 times that amount, could you make it happen? That's exactly where we found ourselves last year in 2022. We were paying rent for an office space and it was not working. The space was too small for our growing team and the rent was about to go up. There weren't any other good rental options for us unless we wanted to spend even more and for, something a little bigger, but, costs a lot more too. The other option, to buy an office. That would only work if we could come up with the money for that acquisition. Now, both my husband and I have been self-employed since 2011. I actually started in 2019, a couple years before him. So the likelihood that a bank was going to give us the full amount for the purchase is nil. When we actually asked a bank, they wouldn't even let us do a 20% down payment. They needed more. Now, thankfully, we started preparing our money for deals just like this back in 2013, a long time ago. And because of that prep work, we were able to buy an office and move in September 1st of last year before the rent could go up on the other place. We were even able to negotiate the deal to save thousands of dollars, tens of thousands of dollars, because we had safe, accessible cash to bring to the negotiating table. And beyond that close of the deal, we're continuing to see benefits like a lower income tax bill just last month. Plus, we're setting ourselves up for bigger and better deals in the future. So how are you preparing your money for your next deal? Keep listening for things you could do to make the next deal better for you and your financial goals. Hi, and welcome to the Wealth Wisdom Financial Podcast. We believe when conventional financial thinking doesn't get you where you want to go, you need wealth wisdom. Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss an episode. And if you're watching on YouTube, we'd greatly appreciate a like and a comment below. It helps the algorithm. Please help us get this episode out to more people. Thank you so much. Now, if you missed the last episode, please go back and check it out. We talked a lot about how you can improve your personal skills so that you get better at making deals and you get better deals because of growing those skills. And you also know when to walk away from a deal, right? And we even sing a little Johnny Cash song about gambling. The link's in the show notes. Please check out that episode. If you haven't yet, go back, watch it now. Okay. Thank you for doing that. Now, you know the importance of knowing what you want, how flexible you can be, doing the math, active listening, building rapport. It's time to talk about preparing your money for the next big deal. And I've got 3 things to prepare financially and 1 strategy that actually helps us do all 3. So first, and very importantly, you got to know your numbers. You need to assess your financial situation. What's coming in currently? What's going out? What assets do you have? What liabilities are you on the hook for? What resources can you personally bring to the negotiating table? You're likely going to need this information as you go through the deal. So get it together now so that you're not scrambling to get it organized later. You can always adjust the numbers if they change, but it's way easier than trying to start from scratch halfway through a deal, right? Or once you found something, you got to move quickly. You don't want to be putting that together then. So know your numbers, put together net worth statements, cash flow statements, those kind of things personally with your business, wherever you're doing the deal, do both. Okay. So that's first. Secondly, I believe it's really super important to develop your financial strategy. Once you know where you're at currently, what we talked about in number 1, you know where you're at currently, it's important to outline how your current cash flow changes in the future, especially as you do deals. You also want to consider the alterations to your assets and debts post-deal, right? Can you manage those modifications on the other side of the deals that you're doing? How do they fit into your long-term financial plan? Wait, you don't have a long-term financial plan? Then how can you evaluate any deals? You got to get one of those, seriously. So first, you got to know your numbers. Second, you got to have this strategy, have a plan with your numbers, how they're going to change over time, so forth. And then third, Keep out funds from your deals to use as contingency and future opportunity funds. Every deal comes with some risks. When those risks become reality is when too many people end up with high interest debt or even go bankrupt. I don't want that for you. You don't want that for you. Keep contingency funds. Be sure you've set some funds aside for when the you know what hits the proverbial fan. But also, sometimes we do a deal only to find a couple weeks later, a couple months later, that there's an even better deal available. And if you don't have contingency funds for the emergency, you also don't have opportunity funds for that next deal that just came your way. So hedge your bets, don't put all your eggs in one basket. All those kind of cliches out there are there for a reason. Keep some of your money out of the deal. Don't go all in, right? Go back to the gambling song. And so what makes this possible? How can you know your numbers, have a financial strategy for the long term, and keep money out of deals without feeling like you're losing out, right? You get that fear of missing out. What is a strategy that makes these possible? And it's none other than a strategy that we've been using for almost 10 years now and is trademarked by the wonderful Pamela Yellen. She calls it Bank on Yourself. Now, well, what I love about Bank on Yourself is that it gives us a long-term strategy where we know with a high degree of confidence what our money is going to do for us for the rest of our lives. We literally see, from 10 years ago almost when we signed up, we could already then see the completion of our financial goals at some point in the future. We knew when we were going to happen, and we knew with a high degree of certainty that it is going to happen. Stock market volatility, fees, those kind of things are not going to destroy our plan. And now, 10 years in, it's exactly on track. We literally see the strategy coming to life, and we never have to think, we should be farther along right now. I thought we were going to be here, and we're not. No, we're there. We're exactly where we thought we would be. It's an amazing thing. And actually, we've gone beyond it. It's a beautiful thing. Now, using the Bank on Yourself concept has also helped us get to know the rest of our numbers way more clearly, right? Not all of our money is in Bank on Yourself type whole life policies, properly designed and structured and all the bells and whistles. Not all of our money is there, but having some of our money there is kind of like having a cornerstone that makes the rest of our assets kind of fit together. We see how they're working, where they're moving. It makes it easier for us to know our numbers overall. And then finally, it's where we get to feel great about keeping our contingency funds or our opportunity funds, knowing that they're safe, available, and continuing to increase consistently on our behalf for us, for that next deal, for that emergency that comes up, whatever we need. So if you are going to do one thing to prepare your money for the next big deal, I think you should consider this myriad of benefits that we found for ourselves in this concept. We can share more about it with you, answer your questions, help you learn more, and confirm if it's right for you, which is not right for all people. You got to explore and find that out. The first step is to do a quick 15-minute discovery call at wealthwisdomfp.com/call. Now, save you some time in that 15 minutes. There's one really big question that we get asked all the time from people who are trying to learn and confirm if this Bank on Yourself concept is a good deal for them. And here's what they want to know. Do they do deals first and use the profit from those deals to take over the banking function of their money? Or do they pile up a bunch of money in this strategy and then start using that money to do deals, right? Chicken or egg, which comes first? And we like to remind people that it's up to each and every one of us to make our own decision and determine the best timing for us personally, right? You're going to determine your timing. The person sitting next to you is going to determine their timing. I'm going to have my timing, right? So on and so forth. You have to determine that for yourself. But I will tell you two things that mean a lot to Brandon and I. First, we are very, 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 very glad that we got started when we did, because it truly set us up to weather both literal and figurative storms in our financial journey and take advantage of some opportunities like that one that I talked about at the top of this episode that we just did last year. We have used these policies to get out of student debt, to get through an emergency in our business and be able to sell that business, to buy a home, to take travel, right? To buy windows, all kinds of things. We are big proponents of these policies because we've seen how they work for us. And we're really glad we started when we did, and we wouldn't change the timing that we chose. The thing that we also hear from a lot of people that I wanted to make sure to share with you is that so many people tell us that they wish they would have started sooner. That's like the number one regret of the Bank on Yourself revolutionaries, is that they wish they would have started sooner. And I don't want you to have to deal with that. So if you're at all interested in learning more and confirming how you could prepare your money using this Bank on Yourself concept, you owe it to yourself to schedule a 15-minute discovery call with myself or with Brandon at wealthwisdomfp.com/call. Also, if you're already using this concept and you're curious how you could better use it for deals, we'd love to chat with you too. We love helping people analyze deals, think about, how their policy can be used to make those deals better, and so on and so forth. So use that same link, wealthwisdomfp.com/call. Just put in the notes as you schedule, there'll be like a place where you can put notes. Put that you're already a Bank on Yourself revolutionary, and we'll know that you want to have a little bit different of a conversation. Again, that link is wealthwisdomfp.com/call. Okay. You made it through deal making month here on the podcast. Thank you so much if you listened to all the episodes we put out there, from the intro to deal making to through today, where we talked about preparing your money for deal making. I'm super excited about next month. We're going to be helping you stop throwing spaghetti at the wall. That's going to be so much fun. So thank you for joining us. Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss the fun we're going to have in June of 2023. And may you live long and profit. The topics presented in this podcast are for general information only and not for the purposes of providing legal, accounting, or investment advice. On such matters, please consult a professional who knows your specific situation.